What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so yesterday we saw Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semifinal series between the Boston Celtics, the defending NBA champion, and the New York Knicks, who, of course, made that big trade during the just before the beginning of the season, actually, trading Julius Randle to the Minnesota Timberwolves in exchange for Karl Anthony Towns. And interestingly enough, both teams are still alive in these playoffs. And both teams now have a 2-1 lead versus their opponent. However, the Knicks lost yesterday, while, of course, the Timberwolves beat the Warriors. But anyway, we'll talk about that game later on. The final score is 115-93. The Knicks still lead, but it's now halved. Now the 2-1. And I mean, you can look at it like this too. If you're the Boston Celtics, if it wasn't for blown late leads, you would have an overwhelming 3-0 lead. You can make an argument for that, right? But woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? I think what happened is that Boston came out focused, the more energetic and desperate team. And the Knicks, I'm not going to say they were complacent, but when you have a lead, you go out there and play hard, but the effort could be a little bit less than when you feel like you have something to prove, or when you feel like you're in dire straits. You just, it's just natural human instinct to go out more. You kind of, I'm not saying the Knicks didn't compete, but, you could also say that their shots weren't falling, or whatever the case may be. But at one point in time in this game, the Celtics were up by 31 points. So some of that to me was the Boston Celtics just coming out and finding their shooting stroke and playing and being on all cylinders. Or some of that, you could argue, is the Knicks just were a step behind the Celtics in this game. The first 2 games of this series, the Boston Celtics shot 25 of 100 from downtown. In this game, they were 20 of 40. And when Boston are hitting their threes, they're one of the most unbeatable teams in the league, okay, when they're hitting them. The problem is Boston's offense, to me, is not as versatile as it used to be under Coach Udoka. And they play one way. They're not going to really change what they do. They might have stretches in the game where they go more inside or whatever, but by design, they are a 3-point shooting team. They are what they are. And the thing about the 3-point shot is when it's going in, it looks magnificent, like a well-oiled machine that's unbeatable. When it's not going in, there you go, So anyway, for the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Jaylen Brown had 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Al Horford had his best game, perhaps, of the playoffs, 15 points, 9 rebounds. And Derek White had 17 points. Peyton Pritchard had 23 points. As a team, the Celtics shot 48% from the floor. And as I said, 50% from 3, 20 of 40 from downtown. Because they were shooting so many perimeter shots and not going inside, the Celtics only shot 17 free throws, but they did make 15 of those 17. And they only committed 8 turnovers in the ball game. Only 8 turnovers. For the New York Knicks, their stars did not shine brightly in the least. Karl Anthony Towns had 21 points and 15 rebounds. So on the surface, those numbers look pretty good. But it was only 5 of 18 from the floor and 1 of 5 from 3-point range. Jalen Brunson had 27 points, but he was 9 of 21 from the floor. He connected on 3 of 8 from downtown, which isn't bad, 37.5%. 6 of 7 at the line. Mikal Bridges had 12 points. Josh Hart, 10 points, 6 rebounds, only 3 of 9 from the floor. OG Anunoby, just 1 of 6 from the floor, 2 points. The Knicks did get to the free throw line 35 times, connecting on 24, but that was overshadowed or overtaken, I guess I should say, by the Boston Celtics torrid shooting, especially from three-point range. I mean, they got, 60 points from the three-point line. It's real difficult to beat that. Real difficult to beat that unless you're doing that on your, unless you're reciprocating that type of, well, not reciprocating, but whether you are replicating, I should say, that type of torrid shooting on the other end. But anyway, I still think that Boston's at a disadvantage. I think if the Knicks win Game 4, they're in a good position to win this series. If they win Game 4, if Boston wins Game 4 and take back home court advantage, because remember they lost twice at home. But if the Knicks lose Game 4, then all bets are off. All bets are off, and then I kind of might start leaning toward the Celtics winning this series. But if the Knicks win Game 4, I think the Knicks will probably win this series in 6. I think if Boston loses Game 4, I think they'll win Game 5 just out of desperation. But I think the Knicks will take it in Game 6. That's just how I would see it. We'll have to see if that plays out. But anyway, so what you guys think?